Ajamila story from Srimad Bhagwatam. Narayanam namaskrutyam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So today the shloka number 64 from first chapter of the 6th canto. Tam eva toshayam asa पित्रे नार्थेन यावता ग्रामेर मनोरमः कामः प्रसिद्धेता यथा तथा. Word to word meaning: Tam, her, the prostitute. Eva, indeed. Toshayam asa, he tried to please. Pitrena, he got from his father's hard labor. Arthena, by the money. Yavata, as long as possible. Gramahi, material. Manah ramahi, pleasing to her mind. Kamaha, by presentations for sense enjoyment. Prasideta, she would be satisfied. Yatha, so that. Tatha, in that way. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thus Ajamil began spending whatever money he had inherited from his father to satisfy the prostitute with various material presentations, so that she would remain pleased with him. He gave up all his Brahminical activities to satisfy the prostitute. Purport: there are many instances throughout the world in which even a purified person, being attracted by a prostitute, spends all the money he has inherited. Prostitute hunting is so abominable that the desire for sex with a prostitute can ruin one's character, destroy one's exalted position, and plunder all one's money. Therefore, illicit sex is strictly prohibited. One should be satisfied with his married wife, for even a slight deviation will create havoc. A Krishna-conscious Grihastha should always remember this. He should always be satisfied with one wife and be peaceful simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Otherwise, at any moment, he may fall down from his good position, as exemplified in the case of Ajamil. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurin Mulitam Tena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Now we'll listen to Prabhupada's lecture on this particular verse and have discussions on the same.
Next is a class on the Srimad Bhagwatam, 6th Canto, 1st Chapter, text number 64, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on September 1st, 1975, in Vrindavan, India.
Svato Sayamasa Pitrenathin Javata Grammai Manaramai Kami Prasideta Dathavata. So, after seeing the woman, he was meditating always 24 hours about the subject, lusty desires. Kamastasya hitagyana. When one becomes lusty, then one becomes lost of all intelligence. The whole world is going on the basis of this lusty desires. This is material world. And because I am lusty, you are lusty, every one of us, so as soon as my desires are not fulfilled, your desires are not fulfilled, then I become your enemy, you become my enemy. I cannot see you are making very good progress, you cannot see me making very good progress. This is material. Envy, lusty desires, kam, krodh, lobh, moh, matsarya. This is the basis of this material world. So he became, the training was that he was training to become a Brahmana, sama, dama. But the progress became checked on account of being attached to a woman. Therefore, according to Vedic civilization, the woman is accepted as hindrance to spiritual advancement. The whole basic civilization is how to avoid the woman. You do not think that only woman is woman, the man is also woman. Don't think that the woman is condemned, man is not. Woman means enjoyer and man means enjoyer. So this feeling, this feeling is condemned. If I see one woman for enjoyment, so I am man, and if woman also sees another man for enjoyment, she is also man. When woman means enjoyer and man means enjoyer. So anyone who has got feeling of enjoyment, he is considered to be man. So here both sexes meant for. Everyone is planning how I shall enjoy. Therefore he is Purusha. Artificially. Otherwise, originally we are all Prakriti, Jiva, either woman or man. This is outward dress. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Aparayam itastu vidhime prakritim para jiva bhuto mahabhav jayedam dharjakti jagat. Prakriti, we are Prakriti. Nature, spiritual nature, para prakriti. The material nature is apara prakriti, and we, living entities, we are trying to enjoy this prakriti. Therefore sometimes the living entity, either man or woman, is described as Purusha. Purusha means the one who keeps the feeling of becoming enjoyer. That is Purusha. So, this material world is Prakriti and Purusha. It is said in the Srimad Bhagwatam, in the instruction of Rishabdev, Pungshan Striya Mithuni Bhava Me Tat. The whole basic principle of material civilization is the attachment between man and woman. Pungshan Striya Mithuni Bhava. Mithuni Bhava is sex. And Tayor Mitha Ri Gayaganti Ma. On account of this sex relationship, the man or woman is bound down. Hridaya Granthi. Granthi means knot, and Hridaya means heart. So the man is thinking of the woman, and the woman is thinking of man. Hridaya Granthi Ma. Then we require material possession. Atat grihat chetra sutartha vittai janasya mohoyam ahamamameti. This is our material condition and life.
Hare Krishna. So, can someone summarize what we have heard till now? Would someone like to volunteer, please?
Hare Krishna. Ajamila, on being getting attracted to the prostitute, he bestows all his father's riches on her. So, in this context, Prabhupada is speaking about how a man is attracted to a woman and woman is attracted to a man, and the person who wants to enjoy is the enjoyer, whereas the other person is Prakriti or the woman, actually, basically. So basically, the person who wants to enjoy is called the Purusha, who wants to enjoy, who thinks he can lord it over material nature. Whereas in this context, he also speaks about Aparaya Mitastvanyam, Prakritim Vidyame Param. So basically, there are two this thing, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. So we are actually the superior energy of the Lord, but we, depending on how we associate, we become classified either as with the material energy. Hare Krishna.
Very nice points, Mataji. Would someone like to add any other points?
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam. The whole world is going on the basis of the desire. So everyone is in that desire only. We are going to another way. You cannot see anyone. If anyone is progressing, they cannot see the good. Like that is envious and lusty. This Prabhupada told about we are the caution of this one. Hare Krishna. The woman, and also the woman is accepted as the hindrance to spiritual advancement.
हरे दंडवत प्रभुपाद जी श्लोक में बता रहे हैं कि ये जो अपना सीरीज चल रहा है अजामिल का स्टोरी का, ये स्टोरीज में अजामिल के इसमें बता रहे हैं कि अजामिल के थोड़े से गलती की वजह से उन्होंने सब अपने ब्राह्मणिकल जो सब गुण थे वो सब गमा दिए, केवल एक छोटा सा दृश्य देखने के कारण। तो हमें ऐसे ही थोड़े से इससे डाइवर्ट नहीं होना है, तो हमें सतर्क रहते हैं। हमारा जो काम है, जो हम भक्ति कर रहे हैं या फिर भगवान की सेवा के लिए ये कर रहे हैं, उसमें ही हमें ध्यान देना है, ना कि थोड़े से गलती से हमें अपना किया हुआ सब, वैसे तो किया हुआ सब पानी में नहीं जाता है, वेस्ट नहीं होता है, लेकिन तो भी थोड़े समय के लिए क्यों ना हो वो नष्ट हो जाता है। तो उससे फिर हमें जो भुगतना पड़ता है वो अपने आंखों के सामने कि अजामिल ने क्या क्या भोगा। अजामिल ने अपने पूरी प्रॉपर्टी, वो वेश्या के उपयोग के लिए पूरी प्रॉपर्टी खत्म कर डाली और अपने पत्नी को छोड़ दिया, और उससे उनको 10 बच्चे हुए, फिर उन्होंने छोटे बच्चे का नाम नारायण रखा। ऐसे पूरी स्टोरी ये बता रही है हमें कि हमें सतर्क रहते भक्ति में आगे बढ़ना है। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Would someone like to add any other points that we have had? So, as Mataji has said, this basically is continuation. Continuation of the series of why Ajamil has fallen down. So after the question was raised by Vishnudutas, Yamdutas are now answering. And then they are telling ki why one who was a Brahman has today come to a position where we have come to take his soul away. So in that context, these all explanations are being given. And so in the previous verse, we had seen how because of just seeing the union of two persons, he got disturbed. And in this shloka, we are seeing he became so disturbed that he has now brought the prostitute at his home and he has spent everything on him, whatever was his earnings and his father's inheritance as well. And then we'll be seeing further how it becomes more deteriorated. So here Prabhupada ji is explaining how it is important that we stay away from it, but it is not possible. So in the further part of the lecture, we'll be understanding it. But two things which were very important in this part were the distinction between apara prakriti and para prakriti. So this is what Prabhupada ji has clearly explained. Ki material nature is the apara prakriti, but we are the para prakriti. But unfortunately, because of this conditioned nature of the three gunas and the effect of Maya, we are trying to become Purusha, trying to hope that we'll be able to enjoy. And the second part was Hridaya Granthi. Granthi means knot and Hridaya means heart. So this is where we get knotted into material conditioned life. See, the man is thinking of the woman and the woman is thinking of the man. So Hridaya Granthim Aho. So that knot gets developed. And this is something which is keeping us tied. And because of this Hridaya Granthi, the need for the material positions arises. And that is where this shloka comes in, which we heard in the 5th canto. Atah griha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho ayam aham mame. So this is the material condition life that we are talking about. So we'll continue with the shloka further, the lecture of Prabhupada ji.
So this man, although he was being trained as a Brahman, his attention was diverted all of a sudden by seeing one Sudra and Sudrani embracing, kissing, talking. So that became his meditation. Instead of meditating on Vishnu, he began to meditate on that Sudrani. Sameva Tusvayamas. In the first part, Tannimitta Smarabhyaja Grahagasta Vicheta. Became mad, Vicheta, bewildered, as he haunted by ghost. Tameva Manasadhyayon, always meditating. How shall I get that woman? How shall I please that woman? So that she may satisfy my lusty desire. Therefore, Tameva Tusayaman, his only business was how to please her. Now, he required money, so he was not earning money, but Pitrena, whatever money he inherited from the father's earning, the son generally inherits father's property, and he was the only son, so he was squandering the father's money in that way, just to please that Sudrani. Tameva Tusayamasa Pitrena Arthena Javata, as much as possible. If he could get more money, then he would have spent them only for that woman. Grammai, Grammai Monoramai. This word Gramma is very significant. Gramma means external, material. Grammai Monoramai. By the sense gratification, whatever we find very pleasing, that is called Grammo Monoram. Actually that is not pleasing, that is entangling. But he became entangled. So Grammai Manoramai Kamai, the basic principle is lust. Kamai prasideta. They wanted to satisfy the woman here and there as soon as need. We can see these examples very often. Then next step was Viprang Sabhajyam Prouram Kule Mahati Lambikam Visasa Ja Achirat Papa Soirinya Apanga Vidhaji. There are three kinds of women. Kamini, Sairini and Pungschala. Pungschala. Sairini means free, freedom. Nobody is controlled. That is called Sairini. And Kamini means to attract, very much attract. And another Pungschala. Living with woman, a man for some time, giving up, again another, another. That is exemplified by the lightning. We have seen the lightning immediately, within a second, from this cloud to that cloud, that cloud to that. So, they are called Sairini. So three divisions. Similarly, there are divisions of men also. So in this way, the material world is very, very entangled. And if we become Krishna conscious, then we become free from this entanglement. All these criticisms or the divisions are there for Grammoi. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has advised Grammo Katha na kohi. Bhalo na kahibe na bhalo na kori. This is Vairag. Don't indulge in Grammo Katha. Therefore we always advise, don't read newspaper, don't read any other book, because it is full of Grammo Katha. Grammoi. So to avoid it as far as possible, there is no need. What is the news of a Grammo Katha newspaper? The same thing repeated. Here there is flood, where there is train disaster, where there is accident and political. One politician is doing speech, another politician is giving speech.
Hare Krishna. So would someone like to volunteer to summarize what we have heard in this second part? Was there is an important point which has come up here? 2 points.
Hare Krishna. The one point is कैटेगरी ऑफ थ्री वुमेन्स, यानी इसमें स्त्रियों के 3 प्रकार बताए उन्होंने, कामिनी, स्वैरिणी और कुंचली. और उसके बाद उन्होंने बताया है कि किस तरह उसने अपना वेश्या के पीछे जाने के कारण अपने पैतृक संपत्ति को भी खो दिया, और उसके बाद उसका सब एंजॉयमेंट करने के लिए उसने डाकू चोरी चपाटी भी शुरू कर दी. इस हद तक वो नीचे गिर गया था. हरे कृष्ण. बिल्कुल.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else would like to add other points, please? So basically यहाँ पर the starting here is with continuation of this shloka from the 63rd shloka. Tan nimitta smara vyaja graha grasto vicheteshaha. So Prabhupada has again stressed on this word vichetasaha. He had become mad, bewildered, as if haunted by a ghost. And that is where his patan started. That is where he started going down. So, would someone like to add something about Grammar Manorama hai? Yeah, so second point he is talking about is Grammar Manorama hai. So, Grammar means external material, and Manorama is something which is pleasing to your heart. So, Grammar Manorama means by the sense gratification, whatever we find very pleasing, that is called Gramya Manorama. So that is where the further discussion starts now. And Prabhupada says that we should not be getting involved into it, Gramya Manorama, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji has given us this instruction. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji has said is, Grama Katha na sunibe, bhala na khaibe na bhala na paribe. So he is very particular when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji has said, don't indulge in the Grama Katha. Don't go after exalted clothing. Don't go after highly delicious foods. Be simple. So simple living is something which was indirectly asked to be done by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all of us when he said, Grama Katha na sunibe, bhala na khaibe na bhala na paribe. And that is where Prabhupada is now giving the example ki why we say don't read newspapers or don't read any books, because actually there is no need to do it, because it has got nothing. It has got only repetitions of what is flood, train disasters, accidents, politicians, wars, nothing else, cricket. So that is why he has not recommending to go with the newspapers as well. So we'll continue the next part.
These are the Gramma things. So we should save ourselves. Grammai Manoram. These externally very attractive news, we should avoid it completely. We shall simply talk of Krishna. That is the safest way. We shall simply talk Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha means what Krishna has said, that is Krishna Katha, or what is spoken about Krishna. So, Bhagavad Gita means Krishna Katha, what Krishna has said. And Srimad Bhagwatam is also Krishna Katha, because everything said about Krishna. So we should not indulge in Gramma Katha. That will mislead us. And if we do not indulge in Gramma Katha, but if we make advancement on Krishna Katha, then we are always situated on transcendental position. We are no more affected by the modes of material needs. Sagunāna samatriptayetana brahma bhūyāya kalpa. So we should stick to this principle. Then we shall be saved. Otherwise, either I become man or woman, we are all condemned. Because we are implicated with Gramma Katha. The Gramma Katha is the Gramma. The temple is specially meant for Krishna Katha. Here there is no other business than Krishna. Therefore, a temple is always transcendental, nirguna. Nirguna. If you live in the forest, that is satoguna. If you live in the city, that is rajoguna. And if you live in the brothel or liquor house or gambling house, that is tamoguna. But if you live in the temple, that is nirguna. Traygunna vishaya veda nistraygunna bhavan. This is the advice of Krishna. The whole world is complicated with the three modes of material nature. And you have to become above this material nature. Nistaigunya bhavan.
Hare Krishna. So would someone like to volunteer to summarize?
हरे कृष्णा। ये लास्ट पार्ट में प्रभुपाद जी ने बताया है कि तीन गुणों के बाहर हमें कैसे जाना है। त्रिगुण यानी क्या? तो त्रिगुण यानी सत्व गुण, रजोगुण और तमोगुण। हम यदि मंदिर में रहते हैं तो वो हुआ सत्व गुण, और यदि हम घर में रहते हैं, सिटी में रहते हैं, तो वो हुआ रजोगुण। और यदि वो दारू के दुकान वगैरह में जो है नीच कार्य के इसमें रहते हैं तो वो तमोगुण में आता है। तो वो अर्जुन को बता रहे कृष्णा के तू ये तीनों गुण से परे हो, निहित त्रैगुण्य अर्जुन। वैसे हमें भी सतर्क रह के, ये तो अफेक्ट होता है तीन गुणों का अफेक्ट और हमारे डिजायर, इसके अफेक्ट के कारण हम यहाँ इस दुनिया में आए हुए। तो ये हम किस तरह सत्वगुण तक ले जा सके उसके बारे में हमें सोचना है। और ये तभी संभव हो सकता है जब हम पूरी कृष्ण की शरणागति प्राप्त करें, और उस शरणागति प्राप्त करके भगवान पे विश्वास रख के हम कृष्ण की सेवा में लग जाए। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Would someone like to add any other summarization?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam. Yes.
Yes,
In the
Prabhuji.
beginning, Prabhupada was talking about Gramya Katha, that mundane material things, we should completely avoid that. The Prajalpa, we should avoid these things. And we should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha means Prabhupada described in two ways. First is the things which are spoken by Krishna, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking the 700 verses, and a description about Krishna, which is Srimad Bhagwatam, means about Krishna. There the Rishi Munis, the Acharyas, Narad Muni, they have described the Krishna's pastimes, qualities, and all these things. So we should always engage in hearing Krishna Katha somewhere or other. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very, very important point, Prabhuji. Bhagavad Gita, Song of Lord. That's how it is translated. If you see the book which we read, Bhagavad Gita as it is, the Song of Lord. Yes. Would someone like to add any other points? Because, okay, it's Prabhupada explained what we are seeing today, or maybe I have experienced in recent times. These external news, they seem very attractive. And that is why they affect us. So we should avoid it. And the best way to avoid it is to talk of Krishna. And where can this be done is, that is where Prabhupada came to the significance of temples. So he has compared the temples to a forest. That is where it is, everything is nirguna. And so it is important that we keep on visiting temples. And now that the restrictions on movements are lifted, we should definitely find some time, at least once a week, if not every day, to visit temple and experience that peaceful, exalted atmosphere that we have in temples. Take personalized darshana of his lordships and seek their blessings. And then that nirguna bhav will automatically come up. And because that is what Krishna also ordered Arjuna. Traikunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. So he said these three gunas are Vishaya Vedas. They are going to keep you captured to the desires. But you become Nishatraigunya Bhava Arjuna. You get overcome of all these three gunas, the three gunas. That is what Krishna has advised. So let us end at this point, that let us also follow Krishna's advice. Let us all of us also try like Krishna to get out of these three gunas, which is simply possible by following the ABCDs. Mind control, on which even yesterday Sanatan Dharma Prabhuji was talking about in the evening class at 7:30 p.m., where he gave the example of how mind is as bad as a uh, elephant who is uncontrolled. So it can trample everything. So he was explaining very nicely. So would request that you continue the furtherly hearing on this mind control, which is currently happening in the 7:30 p.m. class, again at the 8 p.m. Bhagavad Gita advanced classes. So these kathas are something which are going to help us. So let us meet again in the evening at 7:30 p.m. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्णा.